Yo. What's up, everybody? It's a slow crowd tonight. We're keeping it tight. Keeping it friendly. We're keeping a small group of good friends talking through our issues and our concerns and our woes and our triumphs and our lives. Yay! That sounds super depressing, doesn't it? What's up, Jake's Reef? You was on super early, uptown, sky high. How are you, Peter? Man, what are we talking about today? I have not finished testing that thing, and I need to. I haven't written the write-up yet, and I need to. I haven't drawn the schematics for Big Red, and I need to. I need to get off my ass. That's what it sounds like. What do you think? Think that's what I need to do? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear it, brother. It looks like you can. I think the stream is clean. I may have been having little memory problems. I'm not sure, but me. No, the computer. Wait, me? See? That's how it goes. What do I need to do? Oh. This thing. And we'll talk about it in a minute. This is not from a Coral Care. Thanks, Bert. This is not from a Coral Care Gen 1 or Gen 2. But it's the same thing. Like what they have in their lights is the same thing. So I don't know where this came from. And I'm still kind of interested in this. And eventually I suppose I need to put this thing back together. But this thing's probably patented. I'm not sure. And I'm thinking about making one. Because it's just 6mm acrylic, frosted on one side, clear on all the other sides. And I think I can make one of these for the Viper Spectra. So, what's up, Bert? Thanks, Peter. That's what I'm thinking about doing. I don't know. Like I said, I gotta put this stupid light back together. I should have taken it with me today. That's what I should have done. Taken it over to DC Reaver's house and let him see it. There we go. It was going to fall off the table. And we were going to watch that happen live, which would have been inappropriate. What's up, Matt? Y'all give me a topic. I'm going to wait here. Like, for reals. Give me a topic. I'm going to talk about it. We can make something up. Bert, it's about reefing. You're a motivating individual, Bert. You make me want to get off my ass and go work out. Because you ain't no spring chicken. But you're working out. I can say that comfortably. I think I can say that. Wonder what those white tabs on the skyboards are for. That's legit, Peter. I have no idea. What's up, John? They're unnecessary. We could cut them off. We could run them through the laser and just lop them right off. What do you think? Curious what I think on a wide peak blue-violet spectrum instead of a peak at, say, 450. Man, so here's what's up, right? Even white lights. If you take a... I can do it. I wonder if this light right... Oh, this light should do it. Oh, I wonder if this thing's dead. That'd suck. That'd be a bad demo, right? If the spectrometer's battery's dead. I should probably charge this thing. White lights. Like... Oh, yeah. It's dead. So much for that. I don't have a wire up here. Somebody remind me to charge the spectrometer. White LEDs also have a 450. It seems like, I mean, even the sun, no, not really. Cloudy day sun maybe has a decent 450-ish. You know, the sun puts out a spectrum, and like the Earth sort of like decided, yeah, that's cool. I'm going to work with that spectrum. A lot of that. There's a chunk of it in there that's 450. What do I think about a deeper spectrum? So it's going to look a little funky, I think. Wait, let me see what I'm missing. It might look a little funky. It might look a little too deepy bluey. Like 450 is a really nice, clean spot. I know you don't like 470. But 450 is I don't know. It's kind of like a good tweener spectrum. It ain't too Windexy 470, and it ain't too. Oh, good. My dogs are barking. Not my feet are tired. My dogs are barking. My son must be home. And it's not a velvet poster, black light on the wall, kind of dark, right? So it's right there in between. It's easy to make. Like if you want to make that, that's super easy to do. You just buy the LEDs and put it on one of these LE bars over here and just have at it. Would I like it? I'm not sure I would like it. Is that what you're interested in, Bert? Is that how you want to roll? Just got done working out with a bad back. See, I just got done eating what I was cooking. But I don't have a bad back. So at least, cheers. At least you worked out, because my fat ass didn't. I can make Doc PC. I can make it, right? I mean, nobody's gonna chase me down for DIYing a patented panel. That would be a little ridiculous, right? Peter, I'm gonna look back and see what you did. I'm gonna see what you wrote. Justin, I don't have an opinion about Miracle Mud. I've not used it. Is that some nastiness that's collected from somewhere and slapped in a jar, and we're supposed to be benefiting from the bacteria that's in that mud? Is that what that's for? I kind of don't. I don't know. I could totally be wrong, but I look at stuff like that like I look at aqua char, like some firewood-looking charcoal. It's not like something I need. So. And I could be wrong. I haven't used it. Actually, I haven't used either product. But I just don't. I don't know. I like the juice. I like the dosing the juice in the bottle business. Where do I put my Miracle Mud? Do I put it in my sump or something? Is that how that rolled? Tell me. Peter, it was really good seeing Moki. I've seen Moki a couple times throughout the pandemic, but I haven't seen Warren in I don't know how long. It's been a really long time. So it was cool seeing them both hanging out. We hung out at Warren's house, did some par readings of his. God, his tank is so beautiful, and that guy is so good at plumbing. So he's got this cool little 20-gallon that is intended to be freshwater, but it's beautiful. He's got that. That's a softy tank, and he's got that plumbed into the big tank. Everything just looks so nice. He's got this hybrid T5 XR30 thing going on. We did some par readings. Everything looks solid. He should be ready to go. And TJ, Tom, Reefman 202, Moki, and I all took a bunch of frags. It's like when you go to somebody's house and you bring casseroles. Instead, we bring frags. And we loaded Warren up. So looking forward to seeing how that tank evolves. It's just so pretty. It's a big old Innovative Marine something that's almost 6 feet by I don't know, it's like almost 3 feet. It's just a huge tank, and it's beautiful. I don't have that kind of action. It's just so nice. But it was great seeing everybody. Emily came over too. Moki's Emily came with. It was cool. It was good. It was like hanging out like old times. It's just, we're lucky in that the crowd around here, right, Ben split. He went out to Utah, but he was part of that, absolutely. It's just cool, and it was my first time meeting TJ, and he's awesome. God, that guy can grow some corals. But, you know, it was cool hanging out. Good people here. Oh, my 450, 470 OR3 looks like Windex. Yeah, I know you don't like that. You don't like that Reef Bright 450, 470. It was silly of Orphic to chase Reef Bright, but whatever. It makes sense. I don't know. We make we do our same thing with AliExpress. Moki's got a 450, 470 over top of his tank. So, do I have one? I don't have one. I have closer to an Orphic Blue Plus, a modified Ali E bar that I did in the oven. So it cost me like nothing. But what's up, Chris? Annie? Scotty? What's up? Not too late. Helping flood victims. Holy crap. Where are you at, Scotty? I don't know nothing about no floods. Homie ain't been watching the news, so I don't know what's going on. News always bums me out. Put a bunch of Quanta bars on and call it a day. Rob, probably a good chance that might work because I'm super psyched for Mahina corals, Lucas bars to come out. He and I have been talking for a long time, and he just ran with it, and he's doing the right thing, and I'm pretty excited for what he's got going on. Yeah, so the OR3, Bert, my beef, this is a personal beef with the OR3 bars, right? Because I have an OR2, and it's the same spectrum as the OR3. The only difference between the OR3 and OR2, it's the same power supply, but they Orphic used 5-watt LEDs instead of the 3-watters. That was more of a marketing thing than anything. It's not like that bar is putting out any more juice because it's running off the same driver. But my beef with the Blue Plus Orphic is that the spectrum is too wide. So as long as you have that light up high enough, you have a decent mix of that spectrum. But if you're only mounting that bar like 9 inches, 10 inches above the water, as you move the spectrometer underneath the OR3, OR2, in my case, it's different spectrum along like the whole length of that bar because their spectrum on that bar is so incredibly wide. I don't think you should have more than 3 spectrums in an individual diode bar because you just don't get a homogeneous blend. It's a little, here it's one thing, here it's another thing, here it's in something else completely different. It just doesn't mix. If you mount it up higher, then you're good to go, right? If you take that thing up, I don't know, like 12 inches maybe, you get a better mix. But if it's 9-inch, like a lot of main LED lights, 10-inch, somewhere in there, you get this non-blended spectrum. It's great color, don't get me wrong. It's just not blended. So what you get on this part of the tank isn't what you're going to get in this part of the tank. Hello, Father. Let's see. What's your thought on the last BRS live stream? They're going kind of corporate, aren't they? It's interesting to see happen. So I'm excited to see what the new CEO brings, right? We are all sitting here watching BRS turn from a mom and pop into a legit big company. So, new CEO, she has new ideas. My big takeaway from the stream is still the fact that they're doing what they can to make sure reefers can get their hands on par meters. And if you test nitrates, if you test phosphates, if you test alkalinity, calcium, magnesium, you should be checking your par with a par meter. You shouldn't be going, yeah, that's good. You should be using a par meter. And BRS is doing a good job of making sure people have access to a par meter. It's going to cost you a little bit of money, but you can buy the thing. All right, you're plunking down whatever it is, $500. Let's say it's $500. And then you keep it for like 3 months, which is freaking awesome. And within that 3-month period, you can go, all right, cool. I got my ish dialed in. I'm going to send it back. They take their, quote, restocking fee, which is basically the rental fee, and that par meter's back home. And it can go out to somebody else, open box or whatever. I think it's a whatever. That was my. I'm keeping that stream positive. I'm interested to see what they're doing. Cheers to Remy. Remy and I have talked quite a bit. I like that guy. I still like that guy, and I think he's an amazing addition to their lineup, BRS's lineup of content creators. When Remy told me that was a thing, I was super excited for him, and he was kind of surprised. I don't want to speak for Remy, but my perception of his reaction was he was kind of surprised. And I was like, you bring something to the table that they don't have, right? There's that. I'll roll dude next door who's a reefer, who's totally cool in front of the camera, who's absolutely comfortable with a microphone in his face. It's what Remy does for a living, right? He's a radio country station radio DJ. He's good at this. He's likable. He's genuine. I've met him in person in a parking lot, which is weird, but whatever. I like him. He's a good dude. If I had the opportunity to talk with Remy more, right, we call each other occasionally, I would absolutely do it because I like that guy. So I think he's a great addition to that crew. I'm really interested in seeing how Keith, who I like also, Reef Bum, I'm interested to see how the sponsorship by Ecotech evolves. Everything else was kind of like, whatever. But I really like the fact that Remy joined the team. He brings some legitimacy, right, other than corporate-y looking whatever, like the videos that we got from BRS before. Remy brings some, he's a hobbyist, right? I mean, he brings some legit, he has a family, he's got kids, he's a normal everyday dude working at a radio station, hobbyist to the mix. That's enough of my bromance with Remy. But I do like that guy. And like I said, I'm really interested in seeing the thing with Keith. Because I like that guy too. What's up, Chris? When I looked at it years ago, I took it as it's just bacteria colony mud. Yeah, Chris, you're pretty up on this business. I think it's just another, back to the mud thing, it's just another method of dropping in bacteria in your tank, right? Yeah, I saw the tank and it was sweet. Be in your sump, supposedly switched out yearly. Yeah. I don't know. I'm getting a new sump, and I'm excited for that. So Moki is going to hook me up with the sump he has that he's not using. So I'm going to have a nice, hey Mom, I'm going to have a really nice big sump with that 90 whatever cube I have whenever I get that set up, which is outside right now, growing mosquito larvae. I'm waiting for frogs to jump in there, and I need to empty that tank because that's going to get nasty. Bert, you got all swolt, and now your arms don't work, so you're having a hard time typing. Trace minerals. Is it supposed to add trace minerals? Hey, Wayne, how are you? I haven't talked to you in a minute. I need to call you. See what's up with you. You need to make me laugh with your jokes because you're good at that. I'm waiting for a bunch for my store in Canada. What are you waiting for, Rob? Sorry, I'm a little slow. 20 pairs, 100 her, 200 her. Oh, that sucks. Scotty, where? Waverly, Tennessee. Ugh. 20 people have died? Holy crap, dude. That's not cool. Now, Bert, I need to scroll back and tell me what of yours is 13 inches. 13 inches off the tank. Okay, that makes that makes sense. Sorry, Scotty. That's cool you're helping. I hope y'all can find those who can be found. Do you know what size connector is used for the AliExpress bars on the light bar side? Trying to find an extension cable to use in between the light and the power. Cut it, Jake. Just cut the wires. It's red and black in there. Just cut it. And then splice in some new wires and make it look clean. Don't worry about the connectors. I mean, you get your own connectors. So hit up Amazon, buy some 2-pin connectors, cut those old ones off, solder them up, or do whatever you need to do. Don't worry about those connectors. Oh, that sucks, dude. I guess I need to go watch some news, see what's happening. Scotty, anything we can do to help? For reals. Anything. Just let me know. I may be wrong, but I blast 450, 470 peak blue. My corals react negatively. When I stretch out the wide peak band violet, I can ramp it up, and they like it. 470 is kind of for us. I mean, there's a photosynthesis peak in there somewhere too, but 450 is kind of for us. It's a pretty decent pop engine. People like to say that 450 is the pop, but really 470 is. The higher up, the more visible it is to us. So 450 is less visible. There's less light perceived by our eyeballs compared to 470. Daughter's apartment was one of them effective. It's made national news. I gotta check that. Yeah, I second my mom's sentiment. What's up, Reefkeeper? What's up, Phil? We were talking about you today. I told Moki. We were talking about the BRS. What's it called? I don't remember, for reals. Reef pack? Reef pack. I do run Miracle Mode in my tanks. I just bought a par meter, and I was really shocked at my par. Tell me, Leisure Lawns, tell me. Because that happens. That's one of those things, right? You just can't judge par with your eyeball. Them boys on that TV, they're right. You can't do it. There's people that say, yeah, I can do it. No, they can't. Like I said, the lower the spectrum gets, the less your eyeball can perceive. And a lot of that par you're getting is coming from that blue. Keith will absolutely bring more SPS content, and that's cool. Keith is really good with SPS. I'm interested to see if Keith slowly transitions. So he's all Metris over that new tank, right? He's all GHL over that new tank, but his other tanks still have metal halide. I'm wondering if, I mean, it'd be pretty sweet to see Keith transition away from metal halide, because eventually that's going to go away too, right? And see if he puts some Ecotech over top of those tanks. I would love to see that. No. Nope. Thank you. No tree frog or bullfrog larvae. Is that a thing? Do they start as larvae? Not my arms, because they are much bigger. I'm going to make jokes about you being all swolt all night, Bert. Gwonk. I like saying that word. Did I say it right? Gwonk reef keeping. Hey, shout out to... I mean, I could put a link in this thing, but it's Patreon/Telegram, Telegraham. Shout out to all of those who jumped over there and supported. That was amazing. I have 2 tiers, $1 and $3. Look, $3. 1, 3. $1 gets you access to the, what's it called? It's called Discord. $1 gets you on the Discord. Oh, my computer is going so slow tonight. I got to restart it. I was doing too much stuff on it. So that is random voice conversations. I'm starting to build channels in there to house discussions. I like Discord. That's kind of a cool platform. Working around in there a little bit. That's the $1 tier. The $3 tier is a little bit more than that. We'll absolutely do once a month Zooms so we can get everybody on and get to talking, that kind of thing. But ultimately, I'm going to be super transparent about the money that's over there, what I'm doing with that money, what I'm buying, what I'm playing with. Oh, I got 2 refis coming. I got the Uno and the Duo coming. A user over on Humblefish's forum, which is just amazing that these people trust me, and thank you so much for doing so. But a user just got in a Duo and a Uno and from North Carolina, and it's coming up to me so I can play with them and test them and use them. I've been in touch with Refi, so I've got, whatever, the user manual and all that. I've got decent support from that side. Pretty excited. Thanks, Phil. I see it. Reef back. I'm pretty excited to play with those lights. But that's what I'm doing with the Patreon, right? So it's more. I mean, this is kind of one way. Occasionally, I'll bring people on. I haven't done that in a while, and I totally need to do it. I need to bring Luke on. He wants to talk a little bit, and I think he has a lot of information to share. But that's what the Patreon's for. A little bit of different kind of access, a little bit of a small group conversation. I really enjoyed my talk with CRC in North Carolina, and that was a Zoom call, and that was sweet, and I want to do some more of that kind of stuff. So, $1, certainly not. Certainly don't do it if, right? I mean, that's what I'm going to say. Don't do it. But if you want to do it, that's awesome, and thank you. I guessed Moki's par and told him it's very low before he ramped it up just for videos. So his Moki's, and you did, Bert. I think I remember that. Category 4 hurricane getting Louisiana. Yeah, you know what? I saw that. That thing's going to hit as a Cat 4, and it looks like it's going to show up mid-Atlantic as a depression. But that's a beast of a hurricane rolling up to Louisiana. You know what? They don't need that. That kind of sucks. Sweet, it's Buzzkill Saturday. Stupid nature. Hey, Cam. See, Cam's one of those Patreons. Or patrons. Yeah, Moki's par. So Moki keeps his par pretty low, and he is slowly, over time, ramping it up. I think a lot of people make the mistake where they don't have a par meter, and they eyeball the par, and maybe they get a little wrong, and it's a little high. Like, even working with DC today, we were checking a par on his tank, dialing in, putting his XR30s in the right place, had him turn on the T5s, baseline there, because what he'll ultimately do, I think, is keep the T5s off, ramp up the XR30s, then turn on the T5s. So with all the lights on, we wanted to make sure he had decent par. And his par was substantially higher than I had anticipated when we first started testing. So, right? I mean, it is so hard to to measure that stuff with your eye. Skimmer off to see if my nitrates can come back up. Limiting fuge time. I think I'm getting rid of my fuge. I think I'm going to get to working on that. Here's another thing that I need to do. That DIY algae scrubber. I'm going to go to Home Depot and I'm going to stare at the piping aisle and I'm going to see what makes sense, because I don't like how those algae scrubbers are constructed with the big disconnects. And thanks, Bert. No, sir, you're awesome. That's super cool. Thank you so much. I'm going to try to figure out a sweet, simple DIY scrubber to get rid of my fuge. I think that's up next. Speaking of par meter, would you suggest picking up a Senai monitor for a budget reaver? Peter, yes, I have one. BRS, a long time ago when they were still mom and pop, did an amazing job comparing the Senai to, at the time, the par meters, and something really fancy too. They had a really expensive one. And the Senai did a great job. It's going to capture from 400 up to about 680, 700 nanometers, and it's going to do fine. It's not going to see UV, but most lights don't have it anyway, so who cares? Do it. Yes. If that's an option for you and you want a par meter, that's a great par meter. Said it correct. Do you have an opinion on BRS repack? No. I don't have an opinion on a reef pack other than, the reef pack is like a Santa list for me. There's some I like and some I don't. But I think for the most part, I mean, one's here, at least one. I'm looking forward to seeing what that evolves into, right? Right now it's just posting stuff. I bought this, I share this, I whatever, and it's got the little label on it. I'm looking forward to seeing some of the content that the pack's going to provide. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, BRS did this before. It was a thing before, and then it went away, and now it's back. That's cool. Metal halides cannot go away because LEDs don't have the penetration into public aquariums. Metal halides will go away. That's inevitable. And alternate technologies will arrive. It's just going to happen. It has to. Because there's not going to be a market for that. We will see Germany fall first. Halides will go first. T5s will follow. By 2030, we are all LED. And I believe there to be LED light manufacturers that are hard at work making halide replacements for aquariums. I have it on decent authority. I did some guessing once and received some confirmation. I was pretty excited about it. She's good. They were out of town at the time. She's 5 months pregnant. Holy crap, Scotty. I'm glad they're okay, dude. That sucks. What's up, Taylor? Can't stay, but check. Roger. Later, dude. Got to put the kids to bed. Bert, thanks again. What up, B? Oh, OG DMV. What's up, sir? Ooh. Oh, I'm super sorry to hear that. That's terrible. I'm so sorry. You hadn't been around for a while. Now I kind of know why. That sucks. Can you share why? If it's not too painful? That's horrible. 105? Ugh. How much flow are you trying to get through the algae scrubber? Absolutely not full return flow. It's not going to be on my return line at all. The algae scrubber is not going to be on return. It's going to be instead of the 5-gallon fuge that I'm flowing water through, what I'm going to make my algae scrubber, to be quite honest, it's going to be like a dosing aggregator. So I'm going to dose multiple things into that water that's constantly flowing into the 40. And it's going to be, what is that thing? It's a PMUP. So it's a Neptune PMUP flowing water from my sump up to that 5-gallon right now. It's going to be whatever that flow is. So I'm just going to get rid of a 5-gallon tank full of water and then use that same water that I'm pushing into that to be my scrubber. So absolutely not full return. Is that how people do those things? Yeesh. Have you noticed since using Calc slurry that your PO4 has come down any? No, it actually went up. I don't have a PO4 problem with Calc at all. While I was traveling, while I was on vacation, maybe there was some overfeeding going on. I don't know, but my PO4 hit 0.3. And all the while I'm dosing Calc slurry. So PO4, whatever that PO4 concern is, it's certainly manageable with dosing. But you just test, right? And your PO4 is good, is not good. You just dose a little bit. I've seen that concern before, and to me that's a non-issue. It's just not a thing. Did you see it staying more stable since? I've heard help Calc's lower PO4. I heard it helps precipitate out phosphates. But whatever. I got DIY trisodium phosphate living in a jug, and I dose from that. If you're testing, especially if you start adding Calc to your system, what's up, Craig? Then I don't see that as a concern. What do you think about frag box corals losing 50,000 in corals and fish in 12 hours from heater breaking? I heard about this. You know, I killed a fish once with a broken heater, and it broke my heart. It was terrible. I was listening to a lot of Moby back then. Ugh. Because all those little mental pieces fit together, and I remember what I was listening to, and it was super depressing. It was a convict that had gotten sick, and I nursed it back to health, and then the glass heater broke and killed the convict. Monitor, right? Control, and pay attention. I don't know the story with Fragbox. That's terrible. I mean, $50,000 in corals is retail, so who knows what it was really worth? Like what it was, because I could say I have thousands and thousands of dollars of coral in my tank, but do I really? No. That's just full retail price. It's easy to round. But that sucks. Nobody wants to lose stuff. Nobody wants to kill all those little animals. That's the horrible part, right? All those little animals died. That sucks. Thanks, Scotty. Hey, for reals. Oh, failed inkbird for reals? Ugh. That sucks, dude. I'm sorry. Thanks, Scotty. Hey, for real, Scotty, if you need anything, let me know. If there's anything we could do, anything, whatever. I don't have my reach isn't all that strong, but if there's anything I can do to help, please let me know. Even if it's like sending paper towels or something stupid, I'll absolutely, whatever I can do. OG DMV, I'm sorry. That sucks. You already see metal halide replacements, all those Sky Needle Spectrum LEDs and the Kessel A. So the Kessel A500, they call that a halide replacement just because, like, it's not really, but the halide has a much larger reflector. You're illuminating a much larger space. I don't know how Kessel, I don't know, right? I don't get that. I don't get that's marketing. That's just marketing. It's not real. And I mean, I got a sky right there, and I'll argue that the blue isn't anywhere near, because I can overlay those spectrums. The blue isn't anywhere near as space needly on the sky compared to a metal halide, but I don't think and I actually need to finish. I need to finish this. My only problem with this is it's just more of the same, and there's not $900 or $850 worth of light there. It's just, that's a money grab. That's all it is. They priced it along with the other big lights. If Neptune, and I'll write this, if Neptune was smarter than they are, which can be done, they would have priced that light at $699 and destroyed the big light market. Now, they probably can't do that because all of the big boys, I'm sure there's all these gentlemen handshake whatever agreements that I don't agree with that say, okay, all the big lights are going to cost this much. There's no, right? It's not a coincidence that all the lights kind of cost the same. If that light had been $699, $599, $699. If they kept that thing under $700, it would have ruined all of the big lights. Because that light can grow corals. It's not that much different than an AB Plus on a Gen 4 Radeon, on a Metris LX7 running my AB Plus. For that matter, the Viper Spectra right here. It'll absolutely grow corals. If they had priced that thing at $699, they still would have made a metric ass ton of profit, right? Their margins still would have been solid, and they would have just crushed the big light industry. But like I said, all those people, whatever. We're in this sweet, sweet bubble of price fixing. There's no competition in the big name light space. You're only going to see it from the small vendors, like Reefing Uno. That's why I'm really interested in seeing that thing. What's up, Greg? Did I already say, hey, what's up, Greg? I may have. I don't have a PO4 problem because I don't test, and that's the best way. Yeah, that's cool, because I got a tank upstairs I don't test. I wonder what it looks like. How many grams of loudwolf nitrate? Oh, you got to watch my video. 2 liter water. Otherwise, I'm just going to give you wrong information. I use a calculator reef to reef. Something doesn't seem right. No, just, Matt, if you go back and you... Thanks, Manuel Hernandez has just subscribed. If you go back and watch... If you just search Telegram DIY nitrates, you'll find it, and it'll tell you exactly what to mix up. And that is a 1-for-1 dose from Neo Nitro. The concentration is the same, so you don't have to change your dosing at all. If you buy your $30 2-liter gallon of Neo Nitro and you're like, what the hell is this $30 for? And you go do the DIY stuff for $6, it's 1-for-1, so you don't have to change your dosing at all. I tried really hard to make that 1-for-1, by the way. When are gonna see LED reflectors, not lenses? Bert, you don't need to see either. Actually, Mitras does a really good job of this. It has a reflector. It's got the white reflectors over top of the LEDs. And I like that. I think that's the right way. The industry is moving toward... I think you're going to see more like this, where there's no lenses at all and no reflectors at all. It's just more LEDs. I'd argue you don't need reflectors, and you certainly won't need lenses if you add more LEDs to your panel. Does that make sense? I think the generation of lights that comes after these is just... What's that one they showed? Richard Aficionado did a thing from Reefapalooza. It's a European light. I can't remember who's marketing it in the U.S. I'm interested in seeing that, actually. It just has a huge number of LEDs on it, and that's the right way to do it. A500 looks pretty sweet. Yeah, I'm not a Kessel guy. I just don't get Kessel. It's really well made, but I just don't get it. I don't get that beam expansion Fresnel lens thing. It's just not for me. It never really was. I just don't get it. Plus, I don't like sparkles. I don't like what's that called? I don't like that. Makes me all twitchy. We are not when. I cannot type because my fingers are so swollen. So the sky can penetrate to the bottom of a... You just gotta wait. Just wait. Metal halides will go away. Or National Aquarium, public aquariums are going to have to special build from specialty light makers the things that those people are going to need to make that happen. But I completely agree with those who say the demise of us and regular reflectors and hobbyist metal halides are going away. It's inevitable. It will go away. Do I have all these budgeteering tips posted in a central place? No, Josh. That's how I control my... I don't. They're all in these streams. And since I've quit thumbnailing, which I really should get back to, because it probably makes a little... Oh, Filipino Reefers here. What's up, brother? No. But I will always answer, eventually, be patient please, questions that are asked on Instagram. Or now, jeez, my brain is dead. Discord. If you jump on the Patreon, not to pimp the Patreon, but I'll be quicker over on Discord. Actually, I probably won't be. It'll be about the same as Instagram. Hit me up. Ask questions. Let me run through some things because we didn't even get that. It's just an open Q&A. Woo! That was some skylight testing. What I'm doing is just mapping out individual, all the individual LEDs, the diodes, because I want to modify the Viper Spectra to whatever, something similar. Not like this, because I don't need amber. That's just silly. That's marketing. That's for photos. I don't need that. about the same as this, just a little wider. What I want to do is I want to beat this spectrum, which is really easy to do with this light. And then I'm going to make, with this laser that's right here, the diffuser panel, the mixer panel that's on this thing right here that you can see. I'm going to make that for that light. And that's going to be sweet. That's what's up. Oh, yeah, I'm live. I wasn't sure I was going to go live tonight. I was cooking. You saw the picture. I was making some pretty yummy dinner. Lights may be wrong, but I believe Germany, there's a set date for a replacement, but maybe I'm thinking of diesel. No, it's going to start, well, no, it's the end of 2023, Chris, I believe. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe by the end of 2023, metal halide's gone. It's going to start there. It's inevitable. We just have to accept it. It's going to happen. Like seatbelts. Like helmets in those kind of states. But it's just like seatbelts. Everybody in this, whatever that was, 70s, flipped a damn shit because they had to wear their seatbelts. Oh, no, the man going to tell me I'm going to have to wear my seat. No. And they all, whatever. Now it's a thing, right? It's just going to be like that with metal halides. I read the Germans made special disposition for specialty lights, so the law won't affect the production of metal halides. Yeah, but there's not going to, I'm telling you, the market's going to go. Because there's not going to be, these factories are not going to maintain production of these specialty lights. I don't think it's going to happen. Hit me up, 2030. Put it in your calendar. I am Telegram because he was a dumbass and he was wrong. Do it. Put it in your calendars right now. I'll wait here. All right, got it? Cool. I'll take it. Y'all come and beat me up. I'll take it. Bert, you're fixing to lose the, isn't your date the 31st? It is. You're fixing to lose the Jabo and the Calc slurry. What's up, Marcus? Short video sent you to show you how the Neptune Trident has failed on me 2 or 3 times. Yeah, totally. Jake, I'll watch that. I'll watch that. Can you not use diffuser sheets for stage lights? Thin plastic sheets. Yes, you absolutely can. Ooh, what was that? Or you can just use diffused acrylic, right? I mean, this is an acrylic sheet for the back of your grandpa's truck or in the back deck of a freaking Bonneville whatever big 4-door thingy. You could just use. So there's a. All right. So let's talk about this. Let me talk about this real quick. Let me put away this stupid Chrome. Oh, I lost. What happened? I lost chat. So there's 2 things to consider when you're diffusing lights, right? And what I think Philips started and Neptune's running with is this mixer. I like this. I like what they did here because this is just a piece of acrylic, right? And it's CNC cut. I don't think it's laser. And it's frosted on the top, but just the top. Tiny little micron deep frosting. And under that, it's all clear. So the diodes shine into the clear portion of this mixer. And it not only shoots the light out of the hole, but it also diffuses the light inside of this mixer. So it all blends together real nice. I think this is the Philips patented portion of the Neptune skylight. On the Neptune site, they claim a patent for the diffuser, and that's the mixer. That's a Philips patent. That's certainly not a Neptune patent. I like that. I like the idea of that. On top of that, and this isn't the one, I mean, it's sitting right there, but it's under the Viper Spectra. On top of that, they put another diffuser. So it is both mixed. It's like a mixed diffusion kind of thing, and then diffuser on top. That's what they did. So you can put a diffuser on top of whatever light you want. People are doing that with whatever, the plastic that you can buy from Home Depot for old fluorescent tube fixtures. Two different kinds. If you look at this picture, here, I'll put it back up. If you look at that picture, you can see the rings around the LEDs. If you can. Is that too small? Whatever. If you look at it on Instagram, you can see it. But there's, it mixes the light pretty good. I kind of like what they did there. Please hold. Crotch rocket question. I never called them that. Sport bike? How often did you ride? How often you ride to LFS? So I never rode to an LFS. Riding was well before reefing. I used to ride every day because that was my main transportation back and forth when I lived in California. I lived on base, and I also lived in Tehachapi, which is really close to Edwards, California, but up in the mountains. When I lived in Tehachapi, I think the majority of that, and I did ride the F2 down to the base, but the majority of that was driving in the car. When I lived on base, or when I lived in Roseman, which is a town just outside of the gate of Edwards, I rode every day. I moved from a Thumper, an XL650. No, it was whatever. It was a big old Honda 4-stroke dual sport, and I could ride that in the desert. That was a lot of fun. And then I moved to a VFR 800. I think it was a 98, and I rode that every day. And we'd take that down to Malibu, and it was awesome. That was fun riding, or just blasting through the desert, that kind of thing. Then I got the F2 from my brother. He shipped that out to me. That was his track bike. I had not ridden that. I'd ridden his Gixxer out here in Maryland, but then I had the F2 in California, so I'd take that out to Willow Springs, and that was a whole lot of fun. I loved that. Both the Streets of Willow, the small track, and the big track. That was a ton of fun. I did contract riding for North American Honda north of Cal City, just north of the base. There's a 7.5-mile oval, not the Kia track that you can see on Google Maps, or further north, you'll see a 7.5-mile oval that used to be Honda's test track. I rode for ATDS, which was a contract services provider to Honda. Just big bikes, second shift stuff in the night. But I rode a lot. There was a lot of riding. Do I smell what the bird's cooking? Well, yeah. Looks like I have some catching up to do. Nah. What's up, Blue Thumb? Man, I was all... whatever. I have this thing where it's like, hey, look at this tiny frag. Hey, look at this tiny frag. Hey, look at this tiny frag. Hey, look at this tiny frag, right? Those are the posts on Instagram. Hey, look at this frag. Hey, look at this frag. Hey, look at this frag. And the photos are all jacked up, right? The vibrance is funky. The hands are like legit glowing in the dark blue. And I used to make fun of blue thumbs. No blue thumbs. And then freaking blue thumb aquaculture jumps on my Instagram. And I was all right, no more making fun of blue thumbs. That's how that went down. I was sort of thrown from a truck when you were a kid. Took a long time to recover. One should not ride in the back of a truck. And they may want to wear some seatbelts. But that's what it is. Metal halide's going away. Who downvoted the stream? Oh, I normally... I didn't get a haircut, but I did trim my beard, Cam. Thank you very much. I'm okay with downvotes. There's always one. There's always one, sometimes three. That happens. I teach a motorcycle safety course at Eglin. Ooh. Man, those are the days. Right, Phil? Man. When did I take my motorcycle safety? I took that with a... That was a Yamaha. It wasn't a Radian. I don't remember what that bike was. That was my first motorcycle. Those were the days. I took mine at Grissom in Indiana. I'm okay with teached, however you want to say it. You learnt. You learnt them GIs how to ride them their bikes. See, missing ride. Look, we just jumped the tracks. Now we're on to motorcycles. Man, I could pull that picture up. Motocross. Matt, dude, I used to love... Why'd you quit when you had a kid? I always heard that as a thing. Oh, I have a kid now, so I can't do it anymore. I mean, I get that's a thing, but I didn't subscribe to that business. I lived in the desert, right? And it was so nice. You could go from Edwards, that was before the fences, and you could ride off base, and you could ride wherever you wanted. You could cross the 58, get on the other side, start heading up towards Cal City, just all blasting through the desert. There was just trails everywhere. That was a lot of cool riding back then. Am I all twitchy? Is my computer getting... Oh, it is a little twitchy. Is that translating over to YouTube too? I bet it is. Now I gotta go look. Oh, yeah, I should have restarted. Oh, well. Too late. That's what I get for getting an 8 gig M1. I love this M1. This is a sweet little Mac. But I need to remember to restart this thing every once in a while. No airlifted. No being airlifted. That's no good. Katana 600. Woo. I was all VFR because I love that V-twin. With the gear-driven cams, that nice whine that it had. I thought that was a sweet bike. And then the F2 was always a blast just for the track. Matt, don't get an airlifted. That's not cool. Runner walk. Great night. Later, Bert. Go get swolt. All right, let me get through. I'll probably jump off. Oh, yeah, everything's super slow. That's Patreon. You don't have to do that. I'm still going to do this. This was my assessment of the sky going, wait a minute. Whatever. Doesn't make sense to me, but it is what it is. And this is me figuring out that the Gen 1 isn't the same as the Sky. The guts aren't the same. Oh, hey, do you know that Phillips... Oh, that's my kid. Oh, hey, my kid went and had this was amazing. He went and took swim instruction from Clark Smith, who's an Olympic gold medalist swim relay guy. The guy was like 6'9", and he was awesome. He was super positive. And Fitter and Faster. Fitter and Faster puts these swim clinics on, these swim camps, and it was awesome. It was super cool that this kid, a 15-year-old, had exposure to a gold medalist swimmer. And like I said, Clark was amazing. He was super nice. That was great. Good experience. So if your kids swim, take a look at those. Oh, everything's slow. DIY life. Just a bunch of chunk laying on top of the laser. Oh, so if 2 fans are good, are 3 fans better? Look at that Metris. I treat that thing like crap, and it just keeps running. I love that light. That's the Gen 1 Coral Care. This cool dude hooked me up. Hank's cool, and I like that guy. He took his light apart just for me, which I thought was amazing. And then he was all disappointed when he looked inside and he saw what I saw with the Sky. He's like, oh, that kind of pisses me off. Phillips takes fixtures from... Oh, look at my video being all twitchy. Phillips takes fixtures from... Is the audio funky, or is that cool? They take their normal fixtures for like high bays and turn them into reef lights, and they're reusing their stuff, and that's kind of smart. I like what they're doing. Mom, you're not supposed to say that. They'll figure it out. See, you're giving away the secrets. Sheesh. Wait, what'd I miss? Honda Rebel. Honda Rebels were amazing. Those are great for learning how to ride, or at least taking your course. That was the bike to ride. That was so small. It was awesome. Yeah, well, crap. It's a little twitchy. If the audio's okay, then we're cool. Thanks, Chris. Oh, I got these. These are these. So I have a Blaze X Mini that I've been running on top of the work tank that Was it Delula at the time? Maybe it was Delula. It was certainly Illuma Magic worked with whoever was distributing the Blazes back in the day. They sent me one for free, and it's been sitting on top of my work tank forever. Because what I did is I took that light, using the dead spectrometer that I need to charge, I developed the spectrum as close as I could to AB+ with that light. And I treat that light worse than I treat the Metris. It just sits there and it runs, and I don't touch it. Well, Anthony from Delula in Australia, he sent me new pucks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that light down, and I'm going to take it apart on the stream so you can see what's inside of that thing, because it's really well made, and it is user serviceable, which is kind of my jam, right? That's what I like. So that's what these are, and I'm excited to do that. But like I said, that was super cool of them to send them. And then I'm going to check it out with the spectrometer, see what those look like. Slurry. Oh, I love slurry. What I did is I filled up a container with 3 gallons of water, and then I dumped in 3 cups of Kalkwasser, and I shook it up, and I dumped it in a bucket. That's why I was making a video, because I had the lid off. It is that easy. I wouldn't run anything else. I have no idea. I haven't figured out why I should run like a calcium reactor, or I'm done. I'm done with 2-part. I'm done with saturated calc. Now I'm just going to run slurry until somebody makes up a reason that I shouldn't be doing it, or move on to the next thing. Star Wars reference. If you get it, cool. If not, it's not worth explaining. But that's how I feel that people look, seasoned reefers look at calc slurry, because they're like, what? Oh, this one's good. Heat matters. You saw my post at Kessel AP700, Lisa. Yeah, I did. One day I'll clean my Radeon that's over top of... I got an XR30 Gen 4 sitting on top of my display tank. The 45-gallon cube. And it's really dirty, and I don't think any air is moving inside that thing. It's horrible. This is interesting. So... Oh, I got to have this guy on, too. This dude, Colton. Colton hits me up, and he's like, hey, I need this. And I was like, cool. Email this guy, because he's probably going to be able to help you. This guy sends back this email saying that he has a supplier contract with a company, and he can't sell Colton the thing that Colton needs. I'm all, oh, hell no. And I blacked it out because there's an alternate way to source these things, and I don't want to screw that up. But I was like, this is bad for reefing. When reefing companies do this, this is bad for the reefer. This just legit proves my point that this particular company is just out to make some money. They don't give a damn about us. They want to make some money. Yeah. 3 cups. Oh, no. Yeah. Blue Thumb. I'm running 24 times saturated calc in my calc slurry. So it's 1 cup per gallon. Not 2 teaspoons. It's 2 teaspoons. That's saturated. It's 1 cup per gallon. It's super gritty. I dose calc slurry 144 times a day. It is as close to continuous as I can do with my Doser 2.1 from GHL. 144 times a day. So if you're doing slurry as often as you possibly can, in my case, like I said, 144, or continuous with like a Camor X1 Pro T, a continuous duty pump, or like a Versa. Oh, I got to go pick that up. Slurry's good. Slurry's easy. Yeah, Phil, I'm interested to see some of the pack peeps take a look at slurry, because it's simple. I have not found the downside yet. I'm sure there's a downside, and one day it'll rear its ugly head, but so far, 90 however many days into this, actually it's more than that. It's over 100 days, because let me look. 92 days ago, I put the Jabo in, so it was at least 7 to 10 days prior to that. That's when I started dosing slurry. It's been 100 days. And it's fine. It's working just fine. But hey, NDAs and supplier contracts, douchey. Not cool for the reefer. All a money play. This is Calc slurry stuff. This is working. That is the mixer plate. I think I can make that. That's what I'm going to try to do. What's 6 millimeters? Is that a 1/4 inch? Because I think it is. I think I have some. I do. I'm totally going to make it for the Viper Spectra. I got on my hydros today to pump some fresh water into a container, and it gave me this. Newer app is required. I've seen this before. So the last time I did this, I swiped away the app and opened it back up, and it was fine. This time, I swiped it away. Nope, didn't work. 4% calc for my high demand 4-gallon SPS every 10 minutes at 12 mil a minute. Still tricky to dial in. Paul, as close to continuous as you can possibly do. In this particular case, this Hydros app was like, nope, you don't have access to your Hydros. 6.27 is 1/4 inch. Thank you, Chris. This was 6, that's 6 millimeters on the nose, whatever that mixer plate is. So I'll use a 1/4 inch because that will elevate it a little bit higher for those higher LEDs on the Viper Spectra, and that should work. Oh, I'm totally going to make that. And then I'm going to put frosted, because I have clear acrylic in the doohickey over here in this cabinet. So I'll just use clear, and then I'll use frosted vinyl over top of, yeah, that'll work. Frosted vinyl over top of clear acrylic, and then I'll be good. Yeah, so I had to restart my phone to get the stupid Hydros app working. One other person commented that happened to them too. Who's this? This guy, Alex. Happened to him too. Oh, yeah. That's a 40-gallon. That's a 40 breeder. That's how clogged that thing is. God, that NEM is so big. This is a cool picture. I've posted one like this before. Every once in a while I'll take this picture because this one, people dig this shot. It's just a big, this is how my brain is too. It's that messy. Went over to DC Reefer's house. I talked about that earlier today. He was still traveling around. Moki came by too. Moki went out to grab a drink. So that's Moki's box and his par meter, and then all the goodies that I brought for DC. And I was wishing he had left going back to bikes. I was wishing he left me the keys. I could ride around his 2011 Gixxer 750. That would have been a lot of fun. Straight up. And I've already said this. DC's got a beautiful tank, beautiful house, beautiful family. I love this guy. It was really nice of him to invite us over today. Moki was there. Emily was there. TJ was there. Tom Reefman 202. It was just nice. I always talked about this, but it was super nice to be able to hang out. And DC is always just so kind and so gracious and so generous and whatever. So we loaded him up. We hooked him up. We gave him we took him a whole bunch of stuff. I hope to see some of that stuff grow out. Some of it's kind of unique. One of the pieces I gave him I haven't seen. And hopefully it'll grow out for him. So I'm looking forward to that. Frosted. Chris, I don't know, but all I'm going to use is clear acrylic with frosted vinyl. Not frosted vinyl. Whatever. There's going to be vinyl on top of that. This is DC's, so he's got his tanks plumbed. This little sign down there in the bottom, underneath the bottom of the tank, it says chasing unicorns, which I thought was pretty cool. But that's between Moki, Tom, and me, TJ and me. That's how many frags we hooked Warren up. Looking forward to seeing what he does. That's it. I think that's all I got. Video's all twitchy. That kind of sucks. Oh, yeah. Everything's super slow. Let me check chat. How do you determine when to start calc versus two-part? There's calculators. Josh, that one's super easy. There's reef calculators out there that will totally tell you what to do. So the easiest way to do it, oh, wow, the stream's all jacked. The easiest way to do it is stop dosing. Test your alkalinity and stop dosing. 24 hours later, test your alkalinity. Then you can start dosing again. That gives you your 24-hour drop, right? And once you have your 24-hour drop, then you can go to one of the reefing calculators, and it's super simple to start with just saturated calc. If you're going to use something other than that, then it may take a little bit more effort. But maybe I may have a calculator that could help you out. Don't know. But certainly with saturated calc, it's super easy. Like, you dose more alk than cal. The ratio would you need before dosing calc? What ratio should you need? Currently, you dose more alk than calc. That's interesting, because you shouldn't have to. What is your magnesium? That would be worth noting. Good selling point for the Jabo. I have calc 24 doses a day, but only 2 teaspoons. So yeah, it's saturated. So that's cool. Josh, back to you real quick. You just have to experiment a little bit if you're going to use something other than saturated. But it was super easy for me to switch over. I just started low and worked my way up. I did a basic calculation of what I thought the slurry would be. I missed a little bit, overshot my alk a little bit, but then figured that out super quickly because the KHD was measuring, and then I brought it back down. You just got to pay attention. You got to test. Take what you think you need to be dosing, divide it by 2, start there, and work your way up. That's the safest way. Running 4% calc. Yeah. You would think if there was a negative, it would have shown itself in 100 days. Yeah, I agree, Phil. The only, and this was funny, so the outlet tubing that I have, so I dose slurry into my overflow, so it mixes up right away. It goes down to the sump and totally is turbulent, and it, I mean, that's been working great for me. You got to watch your outlet because it'll clog up like it does with Alpha Reef. It'll clog up a little bit, and it clogged up a little too much, and it created this little stream, and it shot slurry on my wall. That's the only negative so far. So you just got to keep an eye on the outlet tubing. Audio sounds good. Didn't notice any twitch. Thanks, Paul. Jim, you previously talked about a formula to convert open air par to your tank's water depth. How would you do this? The only way I would be able to do that is to take those measurements. So I would have to measure height off of, off of the floor, and then measure that par, and then measure that same distance underwater and create. But it's going to be different, right? Turbidity is going to be different in everybody's tanks. Flow is going to be different in everybody's tanks. That's kind of why I haven't pursued it. I could come up with a fake-ish number, but if you're using that number only to try to determine what your par is going to be in a tank, then I'm totally going to say every single time that you need to figure out how to get a par meter, because it's just too risky to do it without. Does that make sense? I could try to figure it out, but I don't know. I don't know what I would do to those numbers. I would probably fudge the numbers a little bit to make it so it's less likely to screw up your tank. So if I provided numbers, then I'm taking on a little bit of responsibility and liability for other people using those numbers, and I would probably round in my favor. You know what I mean? You just got a Versa. I'll be dialing my calc reactor. So you're just going to, Matt, that's just saturated calc, right? That's what a reactor is going to provide. Which is cool. How many people we got on there? We got a chunk of people on there. 41 people. Sheesh. It's kind of late, too. This is, I started a little late. I was cooking. I didn't post that picture. Man, I made some good food. I made this chicken thing and a beef thing, and it was super tasty. I need to, and I haven't shared. I mean, can you see it? My Space Invaders. This is 2 Space Invaders. One I'm babysitting, and one is mine. I need to frag that thing and hook some people up. What are Space Invader frags going for? Stupid money? Yeah, probably stupid money. We're not going to charge stupid money. I probably already mentioned it last week, but I got back the corals I killed. So I got back Dead Disney. I got back Cherry Bomb. And I got back that green tenuous from Chevy, and Chevy's amazing. And I just want to mention that I still have those, and I'm super excited to have them, and I haven't killed them. What? 3 times the recommended all for reef now. Don't want to push it. Yeah. I don't get all for reef. I mean, I get the trace thing, and that's cool. I've dosed all for reef. I did the DIY all for reef thing when we weren't able to get all for reef. I have moved away from products that I can't get. It's just not my thing. JJJC, you don't get the I don't get to show that. 100 to 150 a frag. Does 50 sound fair? 50 feels fair. I usually do half. So if I find an online retailer that's selling it for $100, I'll charge 50, or I'll give it away. Calc slurry system that dumps into the plumbing. Output tube in a tank 5/8 ID is too small. 5/16. No, 5/16 ID is too small. Also, I'm using Milwaukee controller. Yes, I think that system will work. I don't think 5/16 is too small. Have you done flow tests? You understand what you're getting out? Does it look good? I see no reason why 5/16 wouldn't work, and I like that you're running the Milwaukee. You don't necessarily have to turn it off. It's more you just need to monitor it. What I have done is with slurry, I have removed outside air. I don't need it anymore. 1-inch frag, that's ridiculous. I could do that. I could do triple that easily. The Space Invader's huge. I've removed outside air. I don't need it anymore. I'm not using any CO2. Actually, you know what? Watch what's the Jake Adams podcast he does. Listen or watch that last one, because I don't always agree. But this one, I almost agree with every single thing he brought up in that podcast. I was like, yeah, Jake. Yeah, Jake. Whatever. He was checking all my boxes. Not like that. Reefing. Oh, I'm drinking some foo-foo, y'all. I'm drinking some Truly. I like these lemonades. These are fancy. These are pinky up. Mm-hmm. I'm debating on switching to cheap Calc 2-part. I've been using all for reef. Yep. If it's not available, punt it. There are alternatives, and Calc's much cheaper. Way cheaper. You just got to figure out dose. Or not figure out dose. You got to figure out trace. That's it. Oh, and magnesium. Just pay attention to it. But I love me some Calc. You know that. 3/8. No, you don't need 3/8. 3/8 is too big. 3/8 is way too big. The smaller the tubing, the better with slurry. Yeah, reef therapy. Watch that. Reef builders provide some good information. I'm cool with that. I'm selling 6 beginner SPS now on Facebook for $100. Can I show that? Why can't I show that? Wonder why I blocked it. What else? Y'all got any questions? If not, I'm probably going to check out. I'm a little tired. I got up early. Kid got up, went running. Had to take him out in the woods somewhere so he could go do some cross-country stuff. That was cool. Driving down to D.C., that was cool. See, since 1998, you've been wanting to dose slurry. Slurry's been around for a long time. Slurry's not a new concept. Slurry's, It's getting a decent push. I jumped on a board right away because I was like, wait, I could ditch my 2-part, and I did. And I've been dosing Calc since, whatever, 6 years? Something like that. I love Calc. I wonder what Jake will say about the Sky. He already did it. He already did a review on the Sky. He pulled some punches. He absolutely pulled some punches. He did, but in some respects, he just laid it out there. He was like, what the hell's the seal for? Yeah, go read his. I waited to review the Sky before. I wanted to see his first. Go read that. That's a good review, and he touches on a lot of the points that I have an issue with. Walt Disney is one of the SPS I want to finally start keeping them. So yeah, Disneys are cool. Disneys are pretty easy once your tank is stable. You and your buddy made me design a system that I will share with. Oh, that's awesome. I'm excited for that. Share away. Everybody should make something and share it. You know how I am. I like that. Marcus, I feel that old brother. Yeah, Jake did do a teardown, and he did write up the article, and I read the article. Go read it. It's pretty good. And I'm with him. What's the seal for? Why is it only 3-sided? I don't know that he said that, but like, what's the seal for? It's not sealing anything. Yeah, I need to do my write-up. It's going to be a little more, maybe a little more in-depth, but I really like what he did. Yeah, he didn't do a video, did he? I think he did the write-up, and I really liked the write-up. That was good. All right, I'm going to punt. I'm going to get out. That cool? Y'all been great. Thanks for hanging out. We had a decent number of people here for a late hour Saturday. This is other than my normal, so I really appreciate you being here. Bert, if you're still here, thank you very much. Super cool of you. Way unnecessary and super cool. So thank you so much. Orange Passion. You know what? I haven't been successful with Orange Passion yet. I've had them, but then I killed them because my tank went through that evil. Maybe I should try another one because it looks like maybe my tank's back on track. So we'll see. I really want to see what happens when I transition over that 90. Will there be a Sunday stream? I don't know. If I do something tomorrow other than clean up this craft room and do some work, maybe we can stream. If y'all have a topic idea, let me know. Maybe we can get through something, but we'll see. If I jump on, you'll see it. But thanks, everybody. Y'all are cool. I want to do something a little more social. So maybe that'll be the Zoom thing or the Discord thing, or we got to figure something out so we can hang out a little differently. I really enjoyed that public interaction, other people talking other than me, because I can sit here and I can talk for 2 hours easy, but it's fun when there's other people to interact with. So I want to do some more of that. So hit me up. Cool. All right, y'all. I hope you're well. Please be well. Happy reefing. And we've hit that awkward stage where I must say, be kind. Please be kind. You've seen me. I'm not kind to companies. I'll be very clear about that. If you're a company and you're pissing me off, you're going to hear about it. But I try very hard not to talk ish about people. And I think we would all do a little better if we didn't talk about each other. We focus our efforts on expecting more from these companies that are ripping us off. Be nice to each other. Be critical of the companies. Climb out of their holes and expect more. Is that fair? Cool. All right, y'all. Be kind. Thanks. Let me go figure this out because this is how it happens, right? All right. I'm almost there. There we go. All right, y'all. Good night.